Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's session, and we're gonna be. We have a very special guest today, and we're gonna be talking about some artificial intelligence conversations that we already started some time ago. This is kind of a series, and then we're continuing today with a little bit of a different topic. The Chamber of Commerce is so glad that you guys are joining today, and we are recording this session, so we will post it in our website at a later, in a few days. So if you or anybody that you know wants to come in the website and check the video and check the information again, you will be welcome to do so. In at the bottom of your screen, there is a chat button, and please feel free to use the button so you can ask questions and just type in your question. And Carlos, who is our presenter today, he will be he's willing to answer any of your questions. Hopefully, during the presentation, if he finds a spot, or at the end of the presentation, so we can have a little bit of time for any other questions. So with that, I just want to introduce our presenter today. His name is Carlos Garcia. He is a business administrator from the Universidad de los Andes with 24 years of experience in corporate technology, having worked at companies such as IBM, SAP, and CA Technologies. Today, through Palion LLC, he trains commercial teams for partners, ecosystems, wholesalers, and resellers of multinational technology companies. He's also a guest speaker at various events, including Campus Party, ERP Summit, Connect Bogota region, and forums for specialized magazines such as IT Manager, among others. And I can keep reading a lot, and what the idea of doing this little presentation is, making sure that everybody knows that Carlos got the credentials, the experience, the training. So he's not just anybody that we just found over there, outside. He's got all the knowledge that he is willing to share with us. So with that, Carlos, please go ahead and do your presentation.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much. Thank you so much, Fabio. Thank you so much to the Latino Chamber of Commerce for this invitation and for this space. And thanks to all of you who have joined. And I hope this next 45, 50 minutes will be of great value to you. I have been working in technology, as Fabio was mentioning, for more than 25 years now. 24, that was last year. So I've been working with different multinational companies, and during the past years, I've been not only working with different distributors, channels, resellers, but we've also been working with automation and hyper automation for small and medium-sized companies, big companies as well. But we've been understanding the needs of different segments and different sizes of companies, not only in South America, but in Latin America and also in the US. And I hope that what we're going to see here will give you some ideas, will open new capabilities, new possibilities of things that you could be taking advantage from all of this automation and AI and artificial intelligence tendencies that we're seeing in the market. So being that said, we started this journey and structuring this messaging to you, for the members of the Latino Chamber of Commerce, asking systems such as ChatGPT or OpenAI, what is the main objective of AI in business? And the answer we got was very interesting. This is mainly what the system, the LLM, the large language model system, answered when we typed in this question: what is the main objective of AI in business? So as we can see, the main objective of these technologies, of these enabling technologies, are to drive commercial value to the companies, increasing employee productivity. And the employee productivity will be improved through automation, simplifying repetitive tasks, intelligent decisions, models that can analyze and make decision, do decision making based on rules and frames and intellectual frames that we're structuring to these systems. We're seeking to drive more commercial value, improving customer experience and customer satisfaction, improving time to market, improving time of attention, improving service level agreements, etc. And through innovation, understanding and identifying the trends and new solutions that are coming, how companies using technologies, using artificial intelligence, will be able to maintain themselves competitive in this market. So in essence, AI is driving efficiency, productivity, and business competitiveness. When we look at what's the problem behind and why companies should be thinking about hyper-automation, about artificial intelligence, about automating some of their processes, there's a very clear indicator, and it's when you look in average, one person will spend between 10 and 20% of their working time doing repetitive tasks that don't bring strategic value to the companies. So people will normally have to do different tasks that are repetitive, that are the same step by step that I need to do to go and generate a report, the same step by step that I need to do in order to go do a validation, to create a dashboard, a lot of things, cross-referencing information from different systems, a lot of things that need to be done in order for the company to keep operating and to keep executing, to keep making analysis, to keep making strategic decisions. These things need to be done. But when you look in average, a person is spending between 6 and 9 weeks per year doing these repetitive operational tasks, that if we could take away those tasks from each individual, we would be freeing up 6 to 9 weeks of every one of our employees, which could be used in more value-added activities within the company. So there's a lot of time that is being invested in things that don't really add strategic value to the company, but that need to be done in order for the company to make decisions and to execute. If we can take all of these repetitive tasks and give it to a digital assistant or to a robotic worker or to an automation, we'll be improving our employees' times and we'll be improving what they are doing with their time in the company. So this means that about 1.5 hours a day is being invested in tasks that employees consider that could be better invested in other places or in other such activities. When we go and when we did a survey, and this is based on a survey we did and some information that we have from different references, we hear from employees that 68% of normal employees that receive their survey consider that they are overwhelmed by the pace and workload they are receiving right now. 46% of employees are considering that they are worn out because of all the things they need to do, all the tasks they need to do. Sometimes, and we had this conversation, we see salespeople that spend half of their day selling, contacting customers, doing activities that they really like and enjoy, but then they have to spend the other half of the day fulfilling orders or looking for inventory in different warehouses or just filling in forms or registering data in systems. So this is really wearing out people. 85% of the people that we interviewed and on the information we consolidated say that they are reading emails in less than 15 seconds. So in many cases, and I think that this is something that happens to most of us, we get so many mails throughout the day that we just start scrolling and deleting mails. And the important things, we're just giving it a couple of seconds to kind of understand it, read it, but we need to evacuate everything we have. So the analysis is going to a second plane, while there should be more time to really approach and really engage with things that we have, in this case, in our inbox, that we're not doing it because of all the volume and all the dynamic and all the amounts of emails that we're getting day by day. 60% of the people told us that their time is being spent in meetings, in chats, and reviewing emails, 60%. We have 44% of the respondents that told us that they feel constantly pulled into urgent tasks, leaving little time for truly important ones. So building reports, sending information, going to the systems, downloading files and sending them to somebody, downloading information, cross-referencing, making validations, doing this kind of things, it's overwhelming and it's taking away time from the truly important things that people need to do. And 19% of the people said they admit of making at least one serious mistake per week. And let's put this into context. You receive a lot of invoices throughout your week, throughout the day. Then you have to get those invoices and register them in your system. If this is done by a human, and the human is doing this at the end of his workday, he's tired, he's overwhelmed, he's thinking about different mails, different things that happen throughout the day, and now he's just going through PDFs, finding the information and sending it or rewriting it in the ERP or in the accounting system in QuickBooks or whatever. This person can easily make a mistake, and an invoice that was meant to be for $1,800, he could easily put $1,080, switch an 8 and a 0. So these kind of mistakes, they happen all the time. If somebody needs to be monitoring an email because that's a place where you receive rejected invoices, for example, if this person is checking the email 3 times a day, but he's just getting so much emails that he just goes through them really fast, he can miss one. And if he misses one or some of these emails that have a rejected invoice, that's money sitting by in your inbox because we could not take the actions properly when we found the mail with the return invoice. We did not activate an action immediately in order to regenerate the invoice, to send it correctly, and to start the payment period that is defined in the invoice. So all these kind of things, going over stuff, not identifying a number, writing a number in a wrong way between a document and the register you're getting into your system, and all these kind of things just make mistakes that 19% of the people told us we have incurred in one, at least in the past week. The other thing important here is when we make mistakes, there are mistakes that are easily solvable, and maybe I lost 1 day of cash flow, or maybe I just had to go into my inbox and scrape it again and find the information. But there are mistakes that can generate other kind of issues. For example, sanctions, or if I did not put all the information I needed to in order to pay my taxes, and I found some registries that I left out, this will most probably generate a sanction or generate a fine that I should go pay because I didn't do the things, because I didn't do the registries in the right way at the right time. So these are all things that we need to take into account in order to just make our business, make our processes more fluid, more accountable, more on time in order to avoid this kind of mistakes. But when we go into what process automation is and what automating and using capabilities, technological capabilities, hyper automation, etc., we find ourselves in a crossroad with different myths that people need more time and they have the issues we just saw, but they also think that bots will be replacing human workers. And I have a comment here, and it's, we have seen throughout history that as technology evolves, there are some things that technology and that automated processes will do in a different way as it was done before. For example, now when we go and we see how a crop is being worked on, before we had people that went in with their shovels and with their things and with their seeds, and they did all the lines. They did it, I don't know, 100 workers just covering a field, an acre. Now, then the truck came by, and the truck with these big things that move all the soil and that drop the seeds and that control everything. So now we don't need 100 people. We need one person driving the truck, but we need another kind of people taking care of the maintenance of the truck, doing organizing things so that the products and that the supplies that we need in order to grow this acre of crops will be everything, we'll have everything structured and everything in place in order for it to be developed and to be executed with the technologies that we were having. So my point here is, even though technology will transform the way humans engage with different processes and the way humans get to a final end product, the idea of technology replacing the human is, I will take some actions that humans are doing with that represent a lower value in what humans can do. But technology and the evolution of technology will also open new spaces, new responsibilities, new activities for human workers to work collaboratively, to work jointly, and take advantage of everything that can be done with technology. Automation is mainly focused on cost reduction. That's a second myth. And I think that obviously automation will in some cases generate cost reduction, but I think that what we've seen throughout the years is, as companies adopt more technology, it's not really a cost reduction. What we're seeing is that as companies implement more technology, they need more people in order to live with this technology, to take the most advantage of each technology that's being implemented. And what we're seeing is that teams grow, companies grow, it's easier to scale, to grow our business, to grow our base of transactions. But not only we are doing mainly cost reduction, we're improving quality, we're improving time to market, we're improving efficiency, and we're giving the stepping stones of our business to grow in a more controlled and in a more exponential way. Everything can be automated. And I think that as we see how technologies have been evolving, we are not in a point yet where we can say that everything can be automated. There are a lot of things, a lot of decisions, a lot of analysis that today needs to be done by humans, a lot of processes that need to be executed by humans or executed by an automation and controlled and validated by humans. So not everything can be automated. And what we really want to start looking forward and automating is, as I was saying at the beginning, those activities, those tasks that are very repetitive, that it's just step one, step two, step three, that consumes time of my human resources, and that I could give that responsibility to a machine that can take that workload, can execute those activities, and can free up time from the humans that will analyze and that will be executing day by day. Bots are autonomous and 100% effective. And this is another misconception because, and this is another space for growth and for new job responsibilities in companies. Bots are technology, and technology needs maintenance. Technology needs supervision. Technology, and in this case, technology depends and engages with other systems and other technologies in order to automate what humans do today in the company systems. So bots need to be, and these platforms, these technologies need to be monitored, need to be administered, need to have different rules when something isn't quite in the systems and in the information that we're manipulating, when something isn't quite aligned with the rules that we defined to the automation, to the bots. There needs to be how do you call this? Like a safety net, that when something isn't in place, a human will receive an alert and a human will take those cases that are separated from the model that we defined. So humans will always and will still be part of the equation, maintaining the technology, controlling that everything is going as it should be, and taking on those cases that could not fit into the rules and the model that we defined for the automation. Humans will get those cases, and those will be tackled by a persona. And bots will walk among us. Well, I think we are seeing these each time more. I was reading an article a couple of months ago in a hotel in Japan, for example, that they don't have people now doing the beds and fixing the rooms, and the chefs in the restaurants or the concierge at the front desk. Now it's all by robots. So yes, we are seeing day by day more mechatronic robots with among us. But in this case, what we're the technologies and the benefits of artificial intelligence and of hyper automation in companies, it's not a mechatronic bot that will be doing things as if it was a human sitting on a desk. It will be more programming and technology software applications that will emulate what humans were doing, that will have different capabilities to emulate human behavior and execute it just from a terminal, from a PC or from a cell phone. So we won't have bots sitting next to us in the office. That's not where this is aiming to. We will have software and applications that will do what we're doing, but all software based, not hardware, not mechatronic robots. And when we look at why companies are doing this, are liberating time from people, and are starting to or have gone through a road of automation and of process efficiency and process automation in the companies, we see that this kind of approach is reducing human error and increasing the speed of processes, is optimizing the use of resources and eliminating repetitive tasks. It's improving decision making because it is allowing us to analyze larger volumes and data and predict trends.
Okay, but maybe we're having a little bit of a technical difficulties here with our presenter. Um, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So it's maybe on Carlos's side of things that probably got disconnected from somehow. So something happened, and he's just texting me that he is connecting again. So bear with me, and it's gonna take a minute or two to connect back to Carlos. And while we wait, I know a lot of you are here in this session, and I'm hoping that you guys I will be able to see you this Thursday in our President's Address networking event. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be at Fogo de Chao, and every year we gather with all the members of the chamber and friends to see, how what the president of the chamber has to say about the performance from last year and what new things are coming for 2025. So hopefully you guys are all registered. If you're not, hey, go ahead and register and join us this Thursday for a good time. The idea of the event is not only obviously to share what the chamber is up to, but also to make sure that the members can do some networking and get connections.
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
Thank you, Rico. I know you always in our event, so and you know it's gonna be a great one. So we're
I'm
expecting
one
a
of the usual. I'm one of the usual suspects at those events.
yeah,
If I'm
exactly.
in town, I'll be there.
All right, there you go. So we're expecting about what about 100 people.
Nice.
So right now I think we have like 90 some people register, and at the
Uh-huh.
end there's always some other people that shows up. So it's gonna
Mm,
be a good event. Hopefully it's not gonna be this cold though.
I know. At least we get to park indoors right in the building, so that's nice.
Exactly. You don't have to get out if you go to that one parking ramp next to next to
Yeah,
that building.
right. The city center parking ramp is the
Yeah.
best. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. So I think Carlos is still trying to connect. We'll just hang in here for a second, all right? Thank you for your patience, and I apologize for the inconvenience. Bueno, al parecer Carlos está teniendo su problemita con la señal de internet. Está reiniciando todo el sistema y no sé qué es lo que le está pasando. Pero yo sé que aquí tengo buenos contactos. Tengo a Luis, tengo a Rico, que los conozco muy bien, Carla, Francisco. No sé si tal vez Luis Si me estás escuchando, tal vez quieras referirte un poquito a esto de la inteligencia artificial. Con Luis queremos también hacer un, ¿cómo se llama? Oh, I'm sorry, this is the English version of of the session, so I'm sorry for talking in Spanish. But what I wanted to say is that with Luis Olvera, we are thinking about doing a session. Obviously, he does the commercial property or real estate side of things, and we've been thinking about adding a little flavor of the, how is the artificial intelligence also getting into commercial real estate. I don't know, Luis, if you're listening to me, if you have any insight on that, as a as some feedback prior to our real session that is going to be coming soon, or maybe not. So, but then that's one of the plans that we are having. And again, on Thursday, we will pass some of that information to you guys on in terms of what the plans are for the other webinars that we usually host, and then you'll have that information for the rest of the year. I'm gonna put myself off the camera for a little bit, and I'll be right back. We will give Carlos a few more minutes, and if things cannot be fixed, then we will have to stop the session. And hey, we have another one coming up in Spanish. It's going to be the same content, but it's going to be in Spanish, and we could probably join at that time. So for now, we will. I'm gonna just get off the camera for a second, and then make sure that Carlos is ready. If not, I will come back and dismiss this session. So give me a couple more minutes. Thank you. Ok, al parecer ya Carlos creo que se estaba tratando de conectar. Bueno, parecía que se estaba conectando, pero
Hola.
Ok, hoy sí. Bueno,
Hello. Hi. Can you hear me?
sí, ya te escucho, Carlos.
Ah, perfecto. Okay. Mil disculpas. I had an issue with the internet. Something happened here, but I think we're here now. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna share my screen again.
Ok,
Terrible. Okay, give me one moment. Share. Okay, we're back. Are we good?
we're good. I can hear you. I don't see
Perfect.
you, but I can hear you. I can see the presentation.
Okay. So as I was talking, cost reduction, improved decision making based on rules, improvement in the work environment. And this is very important because we've seen some cases where people need to work over hours just to get all their normal work and their value added work done, but also to get all their operational and their operative tasks done. So if we can free them of those repetitive operational tasks, they will have more time, as I was saying, for value added tasks, for value added activities within the company, but also they will have more quality time, more work life balance, if we may. And definitely when we're adopting some technologies and we're automating processes, this will also get our teams and our people thinking on other ways to improve, to be more efficient, to innovate. So when we start doing these things in companies, this will start doing like a domino effect, like a snowball effect, where if we're innovating, people will start seeing and understanding and thinking on how they can innovate more. The benefits of automating: definitely improvement in operational efficiency, customer satisfaction, more innovation, improved employee productivity, new product service development, and better decision making. And what employees have told us after they have lived and when they have co-worked with innovations is that definitely it's saving them time. 90% of employees have told us this. 85% have told us that it allows them to focus on other tasks. 84%, as I was saying earlier, allows creativity, and 83% are saying that they are enjoying day by day more their work because they are now focused on value-added tasks and analysis and execution, things that really bring joy and not the step-by-step things that they needed to do before. When we approach hyperautomation, what we're doing is we're transforming and seeing companies become more agile, more efficient, and more competitive. Sorry, give me one moment. Okay. So what we're aiming to is being more agile, more efficient, more competitive by combining different advanced technologies. And which kinds of technologies are this? When we talk about automation and we talk about AI, we can see different capabilities of these two concepts, artificial intelligence, automation, in different new technologies or in different technologies that we've known throughout the years. Chatbots now come with different artificial intelligence and automation capabilities. AI Copilot, that's having like assistant by your side that it's artificially intelligent enabled. Also, when we go to robotic process automation and we go to robotic intelligent automation, it's how we can give robots a step-by-step that they will emulate and how it's enabled with this automation capabilities. OCR, ICR, it's more if you have a document, if you have a PDF and you need to take information, you need to extract information from these documents, how we can do it, and this is optical character recognition, intelligent character recognition. Human in the loop is just having a person validating what the automations are doing. So the human is going to be within the loop of the process, is going to be validating things he needs to validate based on results, based on validations, based on cross-referencing, or the human can also be receiving those specific transactions that cannot be executed by an automation because it's that exception that doesn't fit the rule. So these kind of things can be done. Generative AI based on knowledge bases, and we'll talk about this in a bit, and voice GPT. So we're talking about conversational bots. We're talking about repetitive rule-based tasks that can be automated with robotic process automation. We're talking about how to interact and extract information from printed and handwritten documents. We're talking about artificial intelligence that will help us execute activities and models based on rules and on defined processes. We're talking about machine learning, improving that permits the technologies to improve the accuracy and the decisions they make through data analysis, process analysis, and this is also another possibility we see today with technology. And it's if I have a process and a lot of documents, a lot of transactions are going through this process, how can a technology help me understand which part of those transactions are having the fluid way within the process and which specific transactions are going on the scenic road? You know, they have to have an extra validation because of an amount of a transaction. They have to go to different levels of approvals. So how can I map this and how can I really understand how my transactions are flowing through the different processes? And we can also go into different tools and capabilities that help me orchestrate and articulate activities that need to be done between different systems in order for a process to flow correctly. This is business process management, business process modeling. So I want to give you, and these are mainly technological terms, just wanted to highlight some of the ideas: automate repetitive processes, extract information through optical character recognition, human in the loop, etc. But we're going to go now and see a couple of examples of these technologies applied to business needs. So today, when we talk about chatbots, either text or voice, we've had, this is a clear example of a toll-free line where customers can go and engage with a company. These are leads. They want to ask questions. They have questions they need to ask. They want to understand a bit more about the product, or they have support needs. And with some of the companies we've worked with, we've seen that in the way that they're managing it, either receiving an email or receiving a text through a chat that is enabled through their web page, or by a WhatsApp or an iMessage or whatever, they have dealt and they have lived with low conversion rates because when they start receiving mass volumes of communications, of contacts through these channels, well, if either they have dedicated people evacuating and attending and receiving these messages, the request, and executing and evacuating them, or they need to bring in more people if the volume starts growing. But regardless of the amount of people they put into place to attend a service line or whatever, what we're also seeing is that conversations get lost. The response rate is not immediate. And in a world where everybody expects everything to be immediate, we're losing time and we're losing fidelity and we're mainly losing leads. So now we can build intelligent chatbots that can receive all the communication, all the conversations, all the requests that our leads are asking. It can answer and reply the frequently asked questions based on a knowledge base. It can guide the conversation and take it to understand and take all the standard information that somebody would ask if you're receiving a call initially. What's your name? What's your address? Where are you based? What kind of products are you looking for? What amount of products are you looking for? When are you expecting to do this purchase? What additional questions you need? So the technology will mature and will get all the basic information that you're needing to capture from a lead. And once everything is captured, it can automatically give an answer, or it can be directed to a human advisor to execute that last mile of the process. For example, we've had chatbots that take in all the details of the person, take in the order, the amount of products they want to buy, and when they're going to pay, we can either activate the payment through a payment method within the chatbot, or we can send that conversation with all the information already extracted and organized to a human advisor, which will take the information, which will engage the conversation at that point with the lead, and will just do the final 2 or 3 questions he needs and activate the payment button. So these are things that can be done. These technologies can be integrated with your current ERP or with your current inventory system, with your CRM. So information can flow from those systems to the chatbot, or from the chatbot to the systems. And for example, this can also be connected with other kind of technologies. If I have a calendar planner and I want the chatbot to send somebody a link if they want to have a one-on-one meeting with me, I can send this link of my agenda through the chatbot, and the person will just open the link and will be in my agenda setting in bookings with me option. Or I can have geolocation. If I'm a retail store and I want the person to find my different points of sale, my different stores in a map, I can also integrate this with geolocation, and I can also tell the person which would be the closest shop of my chain to where they are located right now. Something that's what you see today with Google Maps. All of this can be integrated, and all these services can be integrated to chatbots. When we go to the world of a copilot, I think that here mainly the main difference or the main complement is there are companies that deal with lots of information. For example, they have user manuals, user guides. They have the handbooks of the company, policies, procedures, etc. So companies usually have people that are answering the phone and responding questions based on these documents. If I could upload all those documents into a sort of proprietary ChatGPT, well, where all the questions that this proprietary ChatGPT will receive will be answered through the information that is available in the documents or in the links or in the web pages that I gave the robot to answer, I'm going to be solving a lot of issues that I would have in my help desk or in my support desk. All the information will be in a knowledge base. People will interact with this technology, will get the answers they need based on the most current information, on the handbooks, on the policies and procedures, on the user's manuals, etc. This will be obviously accelerating a lot of time and improving the customer experience highly. When we go to the automating repetitive processes and repetitive tasks, I think that there are 3 short examples here. The first one is some third parties request different certificates recurrently. A supplier needs a certificate of everything that he sold us in the last year. An employee needs a certificate of how much time he has worked with the company and what's his pay grade and what's his job title. Different certificates such as these. So instead of receiving an email, going into a system, getting the information in order to complement the format of the certificate that somebody's asking me, I can get this email or build a form where people will put what kind of certificate they need, the data they need to be included in the certificate. This information will be received by a robot. It can go into an email and scrap the email, find the emails that have as subject certificate request, for example, or it can be, the information can be sent through a virtual form that people just fill in. Then when the robot gets this information, it'll go directly to the ERP or to the human capital system or to the suppliers and to the inventory or to whatever it needs to find the information in order to fill in the certificate requested. It will fill it and it will send it back through email or through a WhatsApp mail or whatever to the person that is requesting it. So automating third-party certificate requests, completely automatable. Validations between banks and the accounting system. And we were having this conversation with a company here in the US last week, and he was telling us, look, when we sell, our salesperson puts some information into our sales system. But at the end of the day, when our supplier really tells us what he delivered and what amount and what was the final amount we paid, and we send that to our customer, and the customer really puts the order and he pays us, I have different data. I have the data that the salesperson put into our system. I have the data of the supplier, what he delivered us, and I have the data of the final paid that our customer did to us and the final amount of products that he received in the order he placed. So I need to be validating between what I got in the bank, between my CRM where the salesperson put the info, and between my delivery systems. So how do I do these validations instead of having people doing these validations every day in the company? All these rules, getting information from different systems, cross-referencing, etc., completely automatable. And we have seen huge benefits here. 27% reduction in days sales outstanding, 70% improvement in collection accuracy, for example. And the third example also that we were seeing with a company here in the US is they are getting all the invoices from their suppliers, but somebody has to go into the emails or the system where they are receiving the PDFs of the invoices, get the information they need, and put it and transcribe it into the ERP. So if we could automate a robot with optical recognition capabilities, go into the PDFs, find the name of the person that sent me the invoice, find the date, find the amount, find the products, and get this data and kind of do a copy paste and send that data into the ERP, into wherever it needs to be in the ERP, and to the inventory system or to the picking and packing system, well, I'm going to have huge accuracy and I'm going to have a better turnover on approved invoices in this specific case. So just some examples. Here, when we're talking about the transcription of information, I'm going to go a bit fast over this one because we already kind of saw it. And here in the Human in the Loop, we can build intelligent web forms where people register the data. Once I have that information, I will have a workflow that will get that data that I received initially and send it to the different people or to the different systems I need. And when there's an alert, there's going to be a human in the loop that's going to be doing the exception handling, some of the things I spoke earlier. And at the end, I'm going to have a whole process that's integrated end to end, where there are humans in the middle that are receiving the exceptions, that are validating the final results that the automation and that the robots have done. And this will help us reduce, obviously, runtime and will help us use resources in a more effective way. So the thing here, and after all these examples, and we'll be sharing with you this deck if you wanna go over it and see it in more detail, is now imagine if we can have various of these technologies working together. A company might use intelligent character recognition to extract data from paper forms or from PDF forms, RPA automating all that repetitive process of taking that data and putting it into a database onto an ERP, and AI, artificial intelligence, making decisions based on the data and on the rules we provided. So we can automate many processes, many tasks in the company, freeing up time for the people, integrating different capabilities of the technologies we just saw. When we start thinking about all of these examples and these technologies and the capabilities we have, we're gonna run into a list. We're gonna see in our business, in our day-to-day, a list of things that we could be automating. What's really important with that list? We always try to put it in a matrix such as the one you're seeing here, where on the vertical axis, we have the periodicity of how many times this process is done throughout a year. So it's done one time a year, it's done semestrally, 2 times a year, it's done every month, it's done daily. So the higher the point in the vertical axis, the more we do this process throughout a period. So here, annually, very low repetitiveness. On the top, daily or multiple times a day. Then we go to the horizontal axis, and it's the complexity of automating. There are things that are really easy to automate. I have to go into a mail, find mails that have some specific taxonomy and do something with that information. There are processes that are more complex, more extended, that would have another kind of complexity. So low complex to the left, high complexity to the right. Then we're gonna have the size of the circle. And here we try to understand this process that I'm considering on automating, what impact does it really bring to the business? For example, I've had companies that come and tell us, look, I need you to help me eliminating users from our system when they quit the company. Okay, how many users do you eliminate on a month? No, we eliminate 1 a week. Okay, but what impact does this really have for the company? No, well, if we don't eliminate them from the systems that we're handling, it doesn't really make a difference. In some cases, there's very sensitive information, so the impact would be high. But in this case, they tell us, no, if I don't eliminate it today and I do it once a month, well, I'm really not having that much of an impact, but this takes time from a couple of people in the company. So we really need to understand the business impact. In that case, it would be small. But for example, if I'm managing a lot of invoices and I'm not registering them immediately in my systems, I can be losing cash flow. So that business impact would be bigger. So we try to understand that in order to set the processes in the map. And the last thing would be we try to assign a color to the different technologies that would help us automate the process that's being proposed. Okay, so given these factors, what we really try to find is where are the low-hanging fruits, the quick wins in order to start a road such as this. So what you would always seek to find initially is those processes that have a very high periodicity and that have a low complex of automation. So we would go into this quadrant, the ones that are based here, and obviously we would try to approach the one that have a highest business impact. Maybe I wouldn't go with this process 6, the business impact is low, it has a medium complexity, it has a high periodicity, but I would rather go with a process 7 or a process 8, process 9, because the impact is bigger for the company. Maybe obviously there are processes that I say, look, it's very complex, but if I automate this, I'm gonna have a huge benefit in my company, as process 13. But the thing is, when you are understanding the potential and the candidates that you would go down and write down and consider into starting to understand and to build an automation roadmap within your company, try to find these ones first. High periodicity, low complexity, high impact. Okay, so that was mainly what we wanted to share with you today. Give you some concepts, some insights into what technology can do for companies today, how technology is liberating valuable time from each one of us and from the resources from the employees in our companies, and how we can approach different tasks today that we can automate through the capabilities, technologies, and examples that I just showed you during the past minutes. That's my presentation for today. Really sorry for that little cut that we had based on the loss of the internet for some minutes. But now I want to open the floor if somebody has a question, has some ideas, or has something that would like to understand in a deeper level. And thank you, Fabio, for managing minutes of my
yeah, thank you, Carlos. Thank you so much for your presentation. Really important information. Sometimes you feel like, you know, there's so many things out there that we don't know, and you are putting it in an easy way to figure it out and to at least learn about it, and then we can think of, you know, ways that we can apply this to our small businesses who are members of the Latino Chamber. And so thank you for putting all this together and participating with us. I know we have a little bit of a technical difficulties, but hey, you know, sometimes it happens, even at this time when technology is supposed to be really well developed. So,
the
but anyway,
technological
so if
session
anybody.
had a huge impact of technology connectivity.
Exactly. So, well, the only thing I want to say is just to invite everybody. We will have the Spanish version of this session in the month of March, in a couple more weeks. March 4th is the date. If you know anybody that will take advantage or will benefit from getting the information and the education from Carlos, please let them know. March 4th, we have the Spanish version of this same webinar, and you're completely invited to come and participate in it. So as of now, I just want to thank Carlos and everybody who participated. I don't know, is there any questions? Please, either you can, we already have, the time is all done. So please, if you have any questions, just email those questions to me, and I'll make sure that Carlos will get them and he can reply back to you on those. So thank you so much for being with us today. And we will see you maybe on Thursday, because we have our president's address on Thursday evening. And then hopefully we can see you also on March 4th. So thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you.